What's going on, America? This is Kevin at Kevin's Corner, and I have a question. Do the Democrats think that America is dumb? We know that every move that they make is strategically done. It's done for a purpose. For some reason, they now have grown a conscience after all these years of tolerating sexual assault in Congress, in the Senate, in politics. Now, all of a sudden, they're hypersensitive and in tune with the struggle of women, even though they tolerated Hillary Clinton when she attacked all of Bill Clinton's accusers, even though they praised Bill Clinton down throughout the years until, of course, him and Hillary was no longer relevant. Now, all of a sudden, throw them up under the bus, even though they love Ted Kennedy and his dealings with women. They've excused all of those things. But now all of a sudden, they've all grown a mysterious conscience. I wonder why. Could it be that they are playing chess, political chess, and they're saying, okay, let's see where the wind is blowing. Let's see how we can set the stage so that the next election, we can accuse the Republicans and Donald Trump of these type of accusations and mentality without it backfiring on us. So we can set it up like we wear the white hats and that we are the champions for women, and we could paint them as a whole bunch of sexual assaulters and sexual deviants and tolerant of sexual misconduct. That's how we can set it up. So they know that they cannot aggressively attack Roy Moore. They cannot aggressively attack Donald Trump. They cannot aggressively accuse the whole Republican Party of tolerating and encouraging people who commit sexual assault if they allow members of their own to still serve in Congress and in the Senate. So this strategic move is so transparent. How in the world did they just apparently in the last week or so decide that the allegations of John Conyers and Al Franken are so drastic that we have to ask these men to step down? Considering that John Conyers is about 117 years old, they probably was like, hey, that's no major loss for us. He's just going to have to take one for the team. And when you look at Al Franken, they just basically said, Al, come here for a minute. Look, this is bigger than you. You're going to have to take one for the team too. Because what we need to do is set it up. So when 2018 come and 2020 come, they won't be able to say, shut it up, Democrats. We don't want to hear nothing about Roy Moore. We don't want to hear nothing about Donald Trump when it comes to sexual accusations, all of that stuff, because you got two of your own still in Congress and still in the Senate. And so they cast away my man, Al Franken. But did you see Al Franken's, retirement speech today? It's amazing how he still tried to throw out a little jab at Donald Trump. And it's ironic because the man in the White House has said things out of his own mouth. And then you got him supporting a child molester. And see, when you use words like that, it bothers me because they never say accused. They never say not proven child molester. They don't say any of that. They just throw it out there like it's fact. Like everybody should just believe without any due process. Just because the Democrats were willing to sacrifice two of their own without due process. But what was crazy is those two that they're sacrificing have a lot more evidence and proven evidence than Roy Moore does. But yet at the same time, they were quick to say, don't matter at this point, guys. If the heat wasn't on us, we'd work with you, but it is, so you got to go. You understand, don't you? That's what they hit them with. And so they can just say, well, obviously, look at us. We did the moral thing. We did the right thing by getting rid of our questionable senators and those guys. But listen to me. If they open up this can of worms where all you have to do is make a accusation, no proof, you now can weaponize just accusations. Sexual improprieties just thrown out there as an accusation becomes weaponized. And so what will eventually happen, it'll be, hey man, if we can't beat them head up, let's just go ahead and find 2 or 3 people that will come out and maybe even over exaggerate a story. Like one time I was in the office and he came up to me and he rubbed my back and said, "How was your day going?" And I felt uncomfortable. Now all of a sudden he's accused of improperly touching. And so when you kind of open up that can where there's no real evidence or due process that's needed, it's just an accusation thrown out. We all know, based off of the history of the Democrats, that once they get hold of something that they can now start to use and weaponize and assign to the conservative party, they will do it every time. Thus, the constant racist card that they pull. I don't think there's ever been a Republican that ran for office that wasn't accused of being a racist, wasn't accused of being a sexist, wasn't accused of hating poor people and walking and stepping over them like they were peasants. And look at them, they're just all over the street. I can't believe these lower-class citizens, these poverty-stricken citizens are stinking up the joint. Rubbish. That's what I say, rubbish. Yes, that's what every Republican is painted out to be. And they go back to that well because you have a large population of Americans, for whatever reason, don't see the game. And I hope that they're able to see the game now. This move to get rid of several of their own is not a move because their moral compass is just right on point. It's a strategic move, like chess. It is saying, let's look to the future of some of the accusations that we can come up with concerning the Republicans, Donald Trump, Roy Moore, and we can always say later on, we did the right thing. But look at them. They tolerated a sexist in the White House. They're tolerating a potential, no, they won't call him potential. They'll say they tolerated a child molester. That's what they're going to say. Yeah. So they're not doing it. Don't be fooled and believe that they're doing it because it's the right thing to do. If that was the case, they would have did the right thing when Hillary was running. They would have called out all the times that she was supposed to be a champion for women, but yet badgered the people who accused Bill Clinton of sexual misconduct and rape. And you know the sad part about that, I saw some surrogate on the Tucker Carlson show last night trying to defend Hillary's actions by saying that, well, it was a little different. And she was responding as a concerned wife. Wouldn't you be? And I'm going, no, wait a minute. Yeah, because Tucker said, he called her out. He was like, oh, so what? Just because you're somebody's wife, that means I give you a green light when it comes to attacking the victim of rape that accused your husband of it? Well, no. What I'm saying, Tucker, you just have to understand from her perspective, as if she was doing this because she just loved Bill Clinton. I highly doubt if that was it. I think she was doing it because she was going, I got to think about my future career because I'm the little princess that have been chosen to become president. Therefore, this is a business arrangement and my attack on them is to secure our future in politics. They simply were in the way. And Hillary was not caring about their feelings. She wasn't trying to listen to them when they were saying, guess what he did? She was just simply saying, you are an obstacle in our way and you got to go. I'm sorry, you got to go. So don't come at me and the rest of the American population, Democrats, as if all of a sudden your heart has grown 4 or 5 times larger now, like the Grinch that stole Christmas, and you are now hypersensitive to what's going on in our society concerning women and sexual assault. Bullcrap. All right. So y'all are just making a strategic move so you can attack Donald Trump and Roy Moore later on. That's all this is. Don't be fooled, American people. And they get up there and they make the sorry apologies. And then he said, nah, I'm going to step down. It grieves me. It grieves me to have to do this. So yes, they threw their guy under the bus. And of course, they allowed, what's his name, John Conyers, to kind of bow out with trying to keep some integrity. Yeah, I'm retiring. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. But really, the real thing is he got fired. But I'm telling you, don't fall for the smoke and mirrors trick, ladies and gentlemen. We know it's not because they grew a conscience overnight. It's a strategic move. So anyway, you've been listening to Kevin's Corner. Let's see how this all plays out. I guarantee you're going to hear all of those senators and congressmen that are running for 2018 and 2020. The first go-to is going to be, how can you elect this person who supported a rapist, a child molester, a sexual assaulter, all of that stuff? That's all they're going to do during the election, because that's all they ever do. They can't win on, hey, this is our policies. These are the things that we're going to do for the American people. Here's our position on this. They're straight going to go to the old playbook of identity politics. They're going to go to the playbook of shaming, accusing, because they can't win a fight straight up. They can't win like this, knuckle to knuckle. They have to go, look, up there, and then hit you. Sorry, Democrats. Anyway, so you've been listening to Kevin at Kevin's Corner. If you are in Kevin's Corner, hit like. Also, share this video. And find me on Facebook and on Twitter. And if you'd like to donate to Kevin's Corner, there are links in the bottom that will allow you to do so. I appreciate it. God bless you. And we will see you next time in Kevin's Corner.